Not horrible. Hello, Miss Linda. Welcome. And Bobby.
Hi, good evening.
Good
Berna,
evening.
Florida.
Woohoo. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Announce when you come on. Oh, eating supper. Oh, okay. We don't want to see you chewing. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. I'm always hungry when this call comes on Tuesday because lunch seemed like a long time ago. James was nice enough to share his stew with me today. All right, where's Tommy? We got a couple minutes. Okay.
Hi, Marianne.
Who's that? Oh, Lanny. Hello. Oh my gosh,
Hello.
I never even talked to Tom about that call this morning. I don't know if you guys realize we actually had 2 Hair on Fire calls going at the same time. And,
I talked to Alex, and he said somebody on the moderator line hit a button and it split.
oh my gosh. Okay.
So we have to be careful about that.
All right. But did they fix it?
He said he would work on it. He was going to get on it. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow it'll work.
Okay, good. Good. Yeah, that was just crazy. Thanks, Linda. The show was great. Linda was on the Tom Chenault show. She listened to that tonight, so that was good on the Facebook Live.
Cool.
Hello, Jen. Nelson, good to see you. All right, and we got Mary on here, and geez. All right, now we're loading up. I love it. We got to remember to get everybody and get recorded here. All right. Oh, it's like after time. Where the heck? Where's Tommy? Anybody see Tom? All right, let me call him. Hold on.
Good job. Hello, Ian. 60. Close. 31. Are you married? Nope. No one ever asked. Well, someone asked once. That's great.
Oh, Devin, welcome. Oh my gosh. Hey, James, can you take over for a minute? I got to take this call.
Somebody just told me I keep pocket dialing them. Okay, so am I live? Am I have everybody there? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Okay, good. Hello, Peggy. Man alive, I'm headed to New York very soon, man. I'm all excited. Got my hair cut, got my hair combed, armpits shaved, no, deodorant on, whatever you do. Jennifer, sorry I missed your call. Been very, very busy. Man alive. Now Peggy got another degree. The woman is unbelievable. James is back from Mississippi. Sandra Lamb, how are you? Ernie Downey. Ernie. Hello, Vincent Cunningham. Hi, Ashley. Hello, Colleen Richter. Hello there, Keith Abel. I'm just running through the list here. Hi, Chad. Hi, Mark. Hi, Lorenzo. Hi, Imogene. Hi, Devin. Saw you called. Missed that. I've been, man alive, we've been doing radio, newspaper interviews today. We've been three-waying with people on the phone. Steve Wallach's in New York. I've been talking to him about doing three-way calls for me because things are exploding. And the more people that you have in the pipeline, the more your business is going to explode. And if you guys can get that, you understand this, Verna. You understand this, Brenda. You understand this, Devin and Chad. We're very, very proud of Chad. Chad got together with me, gave me his 5 best people. We called them together. All 5 people were 60% of the people that Chad reached out to came back and responded to him with, Chad, I miss you. I love you. What are you up to? What are you doing? I am telling you guys, if you'll just get in the game, it is all over but the crying. But you've got to get in the game. And the more people in your pipeline, the better off we all are. So, I'm not lying to you. I don't, my upline is my upline. So you guys can, I got to see if you can see this camera. Don't move. Okay, so this camera says there's Steve Wallach. And it says on that screen, I need you for three-way calls this afternoon or tomorrow. Can you do it? When can you do it? Because I also have to have, you guys think I don't need three-way calls. I am in the same boat as you are. Nobody believes me. I have got to have the same three-way, James, am I boring you? I have got to have the same three-way, James just did a huge yawn without his mouth covered. I have got to have the same three-way credibility that you guys do. The people that know me, I don't have credibility with. They want to talk to somebody else. I could have them talk to anybody. I could have them talk to Marianne. I could have them talk to James Earl Moore. In this case, hello, Emily. In this case, I spoke to Steve Wallach and said, when are you going to be available? Because I want him on the phone with these 3 people. Why? Because he's the go-to guy for these particular 3 people. But I use different people all day long. A little while ago, I had Marianne send me something. Why? Because I have got to do three-way calls exactly like I'm asking you to do. If it isn't more obvious than that, and if anybody couldn't read that, I'll get somebody that you know that doesn't lie, like James or Marianne or Adrian, to come in here and read that text message so you know I didn't make that up, because I didn't make it up. I promise you that that's the key to this thing. What's important, more important than anything, is that you're contacting 2 people a day. The second thing, just as important, is that you're documenting it. The third thing that's so important is that you're following those people up. And if you look at my contact mapping app right now, there's 3 people on it. No, 2. And you don't know either one of them. 2 people need to be followed up on today. One is a guy named Jordan Thomas, and the other, and I just can't believe what I found out today. And the second one is a guy named Bob Dubois. Bob Dubois is a guy who many years ago, I lived in Littleton, and I hired him to be a landscaper at my house because he was in AA with me. So I come home, and I pull up to my house, and he's cut down the wrong tree. And I just wanted to rip his face off. So I didn't talk to him for about 10 years, and about a month ago, I saw that he was in a company called Team National, which is another network marketing company. So what I did was what I'm asking you guys to do. I called him up. I asked him how it was going. He gave me a whole bunch of happy horse manure about how it was going. So I started asking him how much money he's making, and he kept telling me how well the company's doing. And you can always tell when nobody's making money when they tell me how well everybody else or the company's doing. So finally we got down to, one of these days he's going to make money, but he loves the deal and the whole shot. So I've kept loving him, and now I'm supposed to drip on him again. And I'm going to drip on him. I'm going to see if he'll go to an AA meeting with me. I'm going to talk to him about Team National. I'm going to show him I'm going to try to get him to go over to GoPro with me. All of you guys, if you want a free ticket to GoPro, all you have to do is tell me. I'll get you a free ticket to GoPro. All of you, all 41 of you, if you want a ticket, call me. I'll give you a free ticket. George Maitland, you've been to my face 3 times today. It's an omen. You're supposed to go to GoPro. I saw what you wrote about Eric Worre on that wall, even though you thought I was paying attention to the radio show. I wasn't. I was thinking about you. You should go to GoPro. I know. And right now, that little guy on your shoulder is Tom. I can't get to GoPro. I'm too busy. Tom, I don't have a hotel. Tom, I don't have an airplane ticket. Tom, I don't have, my wife says this. Tom, my wife says that. That's the little guy. Punch him right in the face. Make it happen. That's that simple. Go. That's how you do it. So anyway, going back to Bob Dubois. Bob Dubois put a fork in him. He's done. So funny. I didn't even tell Adrian this yesterday. So yesterday I'm going to New York to see Peggy tomorrow. And so I'm all pumped up about that and excited. And it is it's going to be a big trip. And for some reason, I'm looking on Facebook and a guy by the name of, what was that guy's name, Adrian? Do you remember? The guy's name is?
Which one?
Famous.
Clint?
Clint Arthur. Clint Arthur is a guy I interviewed many years ago on the radio. And he pops up and says, I heard you're going to be in New York. I go, yeah. He goes, I'm in New York. I go, what are you doing? He says, I'm now famous. I'm making $1 million a year. And I am doing all this crazy stuff of promoting people. He's been on national TV either 100 times, did he say, Adrian, or some crazy number. And he knows how to get you on
105 network appearances alone.
Right. So anyway, he's a big deal. So he's written 3 books. He went to Wharton Business School, wrote a book. I met him many years ago at the MLMIA when I was named one of the top 25 network marketers in the world by the MLMIA. Now, you guys, I need to talk about that too because it's important on this call. That award was a great award. And you guys are looking at me going, man alive, I did not know Tom Chenault was one of the top 25 network marketers in the world, as described by the MLMIA in 2010. That's a big deal. I mean, that's huge. Do you know who no one, I could put out a contest right now and say, I'll give you $10,000 if you can name any one of the other 24 people that won that award. And none of you would be able to win the $10,000. Why? Because it was the MLMIA, the Multi-Level Marketing Industry Association, and nobody else levered that award up. Nobody awarded that award up. I levered it up. I made it a big deal, and therefore it is a big deal. So I don't care what you won. You might have won the Nurse of the Year award at Duke University, and everybody else won that too. But guess what? You got to put that out there. Because those awards are if you don't promote yourself, you guys, nobody's going to promote you. No one's promoting you. I promise you. You got to promote yourself. And you got to kind of do it kind of sneakily so it doesn't look like you're this goofball. But I'm promising you, if you don't promote yourself, no one else will. So anyway, back to Clint Arthur. And this whole story is tying together. And the reason that Jordan Thomas is on the sheet. Clint Arthur's making $1 million a year. He went to Wharton. He thinks he's all of it in a bag of chips. The chances of getting him into network marketing are about 1,000,000 to 1, right? That's just not going to happen. He's got all kinds of stuff going on. He's hanging around with presidents and politicians. He showed us pictures of all these people. He's really taking himself seriously. He's a long shot. He might be able to be a tour guide for me or a talent scout for me or a referral source for me, but he's not going to be a network marketer in my humble opinion. However, when I went to his Facebook wall, Jordan Thomas was on there. Jordan Thomas, right there. Jordan Thomas. And I go, what the heck is Jordan Thomas doing knowing Clint Arthur? Because Jordan Thomas is a guy who lives in California, who just got his driver's license, and he's 26 years old. He writes books, Christian books, and he also designs book covers for authors. And he is absolutely dead broke. So what's so great about that is so that reminded me to call Jordan. So I put it in the contact mapping app yesterday to call Jordan tomorrow. 75 Caroline Bell, you're crazy. Yeah, so out of 75 million people, I was one of the top 25. But the other 24, you'd never know. She found. And so now you know, am I even on the list or did I make that? Let me see if I'm even on the list. Great grandma. Oh yeah, I made the list. I wasn't even lying to you. That's unbelievable. The other 24 are probably dead. But the point I make to you guys is you've never even heard of those other people. They've never told you that they were one of the top 25. I'm the only one that hit the band and beat the drum. So please, whatever you got, whether Vincent, you probably won something in 7th grade. Go pull that trophy out and talk about it. Whatever it is, I want you talking about. This business is fun. Nobody in the world other than Caroline Powell would fact check that. And I can promise you one thing right now, and this is 100% positive. When Caroline Powell heard me say Tom Chenault was voted one of the top 25 network marketers out of 75 million, she didn't say, oh, that's good. Do you know what she said? That is the biggest bunch of hogwash I've ever heard in my entire life. And she decided to go in there and check to see if it was true. That's the only reason she Googled that. And God bless you, Caroline. I can't even believe I got the year right because I don't even know that. So back to what I do all day long. All I do. And Chad Williams just said we talked to 5 people. And 5 people came back to him with positive things to say to him. One of them, we're looking on Facebook, and we're talking to one guy, and I see this attractive couple. And I go, do you know them? He goes, yeah, that guy pulled me out of a burning truck. He saved my life. I go, let's write them a note. We wrote them a beautiful note, and they wrote a note 10 times more beautiful. We left church early. We can't believe our daughter was sick that day. We left church early. We're driving home. There was no reason to be on that road. We came along. You were in the burning truck. We pulled you out. God's great. That's the message from those people that they sent back to Chad. So Chad's next job is to call him up and say, hey, how you doing? Tell me about your life. Tell me about your money. Tell me about your health. Don't pitch anything. He's under absolute warning from me not to pitch. And at the end of the day, he's going to turn every one of these people. So if you're 5 for 5 in talking to people, 5 people you contact, 5 people write you back and say, Chad, you're awesome. We love you. We miss you. What would you guys all tell Chad? Talk to more people. That's it. Talk to more people. Chad, you got to talk to more people. You've got 900 people in your phone. I had your phone. I saw it. You got 900 people for you to follow up on. Over 1,000 people were at his dad's funeral. I'm telling you, he was a household name in Indiana. He's got to get back there and tap that warm market with love, not with some crazy throw up on him with hemp, with love, with relatedness, with the coffee shop interview. Am I losing? Caroline, you're cute. Yeah, isn't that something else? So everybody, I'm telling you, you can do this. There's not one of you that can't. Who's got questions? Who wants me to call people? Ann Parker, unbelievable. Listen to this. You saw that movie star good-looking guy on my Facebook wall yesterday. His name was something. I have no idea. So he writes me a text message yesterday morning. I have to tell this story right because it's a good story. So Ann Parker says, I met with this guy with my boyfriend. It was an unbelievable meeting. I gave him your name. I gave him your number. I told him you were going to call him. So she did it. The guy calls me on the phone, says, I want to meet you. He's written 3 books. I can't believe I don't know his name. His name is Brett Figueroa. Here's the book he wrote. So Ann Parker tells this guy to come down and see me. He comes down to see me last night. This guy was a trainer for Tony Robbins. He's been all over the world, personal development, wears a 3-piece suit to church every Sunday morning, gets there for the 9 o'clock service, doesn't leave until after the 11 o'clock service. Just an unbelievable human being. Hello, Jen. And Jen Hudson, I love you. And what's so beautiful about this is this guy comes down. And he is a wandering generality. He wants to be somebody so bad. He's even writing books. And what we've got to do is let him realize how great he can be. And we can give him the podium. We can give him the microphone. We can give him the stage. We can give him everything at Youngevity. I hope he's not on here. And at the end of the day, all we've got to do, All we've got to do is let him realize that to get to the stage, he's got to do the work. Nobody gets there by entitlement. Because what he said to me was, I want to come down to Youngevity and train all of you people. And I said to him, that sounds great, but you've got to earn the microphone. We don't give the microphone to outsiders because we don't know what they're going to say, no matter how good they are. You've got to earn it because we want him to be a 1-star, 2, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star under Ann. She did her job. She edified the crud out of me so this guy couldn't even live without me. And then she did the same thing with him, the same direction, other way. So he and I got married. I mean, this guy and I spent all kinds of time last night. We had a great time. And that's all this is. That's a 3-way call. It's edification, coffee shop interview. She told me everything I needed to know about him. And then we took it to there. That's all we're doing. Does that make sense to you guys? Anybody have a doubt of how to do this? Anybody got a question of how to do this? And I am telling you, you look at Linda McCormick. I don't know if she's on here. I mean, she's just looking for pain in people. She looks for people having pain, and she comes up to them and she gives them a hemp sample, and she says, hey, what's going on with that pain? Can I help you? She doesn't go into a sales pitch. She lets the product do the talking while she's talking to them about everything else. And then she looks at them and says, is that pain still there? And they say, no, it's gone. How do I buy some? That's what she's doing all day long. It's just absolute. And she brings her dog and her husband. It's unbelievable. So she's so related. She's unbelievable. I love her. That's all we do, you guys. That's all we do. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to be the product. Be the product. That's all people are doing. Then I want you to talk about the product. And then I want you to tell people about the product. And I want you to teach people to take the product. And then I want you to teach people to tell people how to take the product. If you do that, you get rich. And I know it will take you about 5 years to even learn how to say what I just said, because that took a lot. But I said it exactly right. I hit the nail on the head. I want you to take the product. I want you to tell people about the product. And it goes all the way through that. If you don't take the product, you're missing it. So I'm going to go read some stuff because I don't have any idea. Does anybody want to say anything so I can take a breath? Anybody want to talk? Chad? Chad, was that? Unmute Chad. He's a doll. I know I'm not going to see you in, Hanny won't be in New York. And if you people, hold it for a second. We're in North Carolina. We're in New York. You've got to look in your Rolodex and see who you know there. My friend Ollie O'Connor is one of the great guys of all time. Adrian's on this phone. He will tell you that I knocked Ollie O'Connor's eye out many years ago accidentally, and it fell to the bottom of the ocean. That's a terrible story. And the good news about Ollie O'Connor is that guy, Brett and I, called Ollie O'Connor last night. He just got married. And I go, and he was very groggy on the phone. And I said, Ollie, why are you so groggy on the phone? He said, because it's 11 o'clock at night, Tom, you idiot. I live in Raleigh, North Carolina. So I said, well, why did you answer the phone if you're so tired? And that's how we started the conversation. And Ollie was actually on a jet ski in Cabo San Lucas with me, and I went over a bump real hard, and he had an artificial eye, and I knocked it out of his head. And it went right to the bottom of the ocean. But what you don't know about an artificial eye, when it gets knocked out of your head, you come out of the water and all it is a complete hole in your head that is pure white and is truly the scariest thing you've ever seen in your life. And it freaked me out so bad, I about swallowed my cigar. And then the second big shock was when I had to buy, because I had to buy him a new eye. Guess how much an artificial eye costs? You're not going to believe. Back then, and this was many years ago, 15 years ago, $1,800 for the artificial eye. And I had to buy that. So whenever I see Ollie, I have to look at that eye because I know I bought it. It's unbelievable. All right. Okay, so when and where is the North Carolina event? We need to know that. Yeah, that's on the meeting locator, I'm sure. But that's true. Take, be, tell, teach. That's exactly right, Caroline. That's exactly what I'm doing. So I know that you know people there. Ollie lives in North Carolina. I'm an idiot for not having that in my head. Last night when I woke him up, I was talking to him with Brett about about a personal development course, That's the reason I called him. But at the end of the day, I should have invited him to see Dr. Wallach because Ollie's on auto ship with the minerals. So crazy. So unbelievable. That's what we do. You guys, this business is here. If you'll just take it like a business and do it like a business, it's going to work for you. I promise you that. What do you want to know? Anybody got anything rather than... Somebody's making noise. Who was that? So what do I do now? Anybody got anything they want to ask me? Anybody got anything they want to know about? Tamara, congratulations. I heard you brought somebody in again today. You are a rock star. Jen Nelson, you're unbelievable. I know I look like I've gained 3 pounds because I haven't gone to Camp Gladiator. She's my personal trainer in here. I'm a slacker. She should be standing on this board saying, Tom, you're talking about so much integrity in this class. Why don't you have that much integrity around Camp Gladiator? And I have an excuse a minute, including tomorrow when I'm going to New York and I can't go to Camp Gladiator. So now you know. But you are a great, great woman with your 2 little kids and your beautiful life, and I love you. Who else? Who else has questions? Where are you stopped? How to talk to people? Coffee shop interview inside of the Contact Mapping app or on Masters of Enrollment. Go to Youngevity University. Go through Youngevity University. Learn the steps to do the business. If you learn the steps to do the business, you are going to win. I promise you. This becomes I was so proud of myself. We were talking to the reporter today. And Adrian was talking, he said, here's my dad. He said, all my life, I resisted what my dad does, which was be that person for everybody. Every time I turned around in my life, somebody was calling my dad for something. How to get sober. They were calling for money. They were calling for a doctor. They were calling for this. They were calling for that. I thought it was just business. I did not realize that my dad was a good human being who was also doing business. And what I want to tell you guys to do is become good human beings and also doing business. And if there's anybody on here not using the Contact Mapping app for any reason, I want to know what it is. Even the $10 a month, because I'll loan you the money for a year to try it. If you don't have $10, we got bigger problems than that. But I am going to tell you, nothing should stop you from using that app. And if there's a reason that you're not using it, we need to know it, because there's no way on earth that you're not going to get value out of using the Contact Mapping app. I promise you, there's no way on earth. Every one of you, that includes you, Jen, that includes you, Rock, that includes you, George, that includes you, Caroline, that includes you, Andy, that includes you, Pharmacist Keith, that includes you, Adrian, every one of you. Because if I'm getting that, I've got 18,000 names in my phone, more than any of you, maybe even more than most of you combined. And I promise you that my 18,000 people are a battle to keep track of. And I can keep track of them, and I can be in complete integrity on all of those people because of that app. My follow-up is better than literally anybody I know because of that app. And with 1 million people in my organization, with over 500 5-stars, much less all the other ranks in my organization, think of how busy I must be. And think of how busy I would have to be if I didn't have that app to keep me organized. And I am just telling you, you want to be organized and you want to be able to do business. It's that simple. What's that? What did you just type, Adrian? What did that mean?
It's a heart.
Oh, I didn't get the heart. Hi, Rock. What do you want to know? Ernie Downey, are you there? Rock, are you there? Unmute Rock, too. Rock wants to say something.
Yeah, I want to use the Contact Mapping app, but when me and Sandy first started with it, we used the same number. And Adrian said, because we had the same address book and we were trying to sync so we could stay in communication with each other, that we might have challenges with it, and we did. It was, not good for 2 people to try to use the same account. So I'd like to start over with the app with a fresh account, and I just don't know how to do that. But I really would like something to manage all the contacts, because I'm continuing to do 2 and 1, 2 and 1. Sometimes I do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 contacts in a day. And it's overwhelming to follow through. I would love to have a tool that sounds like is really helping you to follow through, and I would like that.
All right, that's okay. Request granted. We will have customer service get on top of that. And yeah, that's done. Request granted.
Thank you.
You got it, baby. No problem at all. We'll get you reset.
All right.
Just exactly what Adrian said. Retailing to recruit. I do not know what that means, Linda. So if you'll get me something to read on it tonight on my way to the airport tomorrow, on my way to New York, I'll read it. Really smart. Ask the question. Never introduce a concept into your group without proving it up. That's one of the biggest pitfalls people make as they listen to somebody, and that's a little bit going back to this guy saying, I want to come and speak to your group. Until it's proven that it's going to help this group, I don't let them in. I don't even let Star School in until I know that it's creating the kind of leaders that we want to create. And once we know it's working for everybody, that's when we bring it in. The reason I'm such a big fan of Youngevity University is because I know it works. And if I know it works, I know contact mapping works. And because those things, I can't afford to burden you guys with hitches. That's that simple. The company line, HempFX, that website, if it's working, wonderful. I'm not going to send it to you if it doesn't work. The GoTo app, if it's working, wonderful. I'm not going to send it to you. I'm not going to practice on you. We are here to have you get your mortgage paid, not to practice on you. That's my job. My job is to protect you. My job is to be that leader that's not afraid to say, I'm not going to introduce this thing into my organization till you get it worked out. Sometimes when my person comes up to follow up with, don't remember them, have to go off my list, back to my contact list, make that. No, you want to do that, Tamara, because you've got all your info. That happens to me all day long. So I'm in my contact map. It says, here's Joe Blow. I go, who's Joe Blow? He's not there. So I have to go back to my contacts, read who Joe Blow was, and come back in. And that's about a 4-second transition, but I do that. So right now, deal with that 4-second transition and going out and going back in. So, and those are contact mapping. That's fundamentals. Keep using it. You'll get better. Ernie Downey, they said you keep unmuting. So if you want to talk, or whoever's got Ernie Downey on their screen, please let me know. If it is Ernie Downey, who is a dear friend of mine from Manitou Springs, Colorado, I would love to talk to you. I would love to introduce these people to you because you are truly the upline to a lot of them and they've never met you. So this is exciting stuff. Okay, let me think of what else I want to talk to you about. If you want to give me some suggestions, put my email in somebody for a December promotion that doesn't involve double or triple or QV or CEO packs for Youngevity for a December promotion. Alex Tice is looking for something that's going to really light you up, that's different and out of the box. So if you can think of something like that, don't hesitate to send me that so I can email it to everybody to Alex, because they want to keep you lit up. I don't like double QV. I don't like triple QV. I don't like CEO specials. And the reason I say that to you is because it doesn't build your paycheck. I want to build your paycheck. And you guys get paid on BV, not QV. So QV is to rank advance, but if rank advancement doesn't create volume to up your check, I don't want to be promoting it like everybody else is promoting it. The company line isn't that. I'm going against that. They do a lot of that to think that inspires you. And it does inspire you probably, but it also creates smaller paychecks. So I want you to learn how to be completely qualified at your rank by the 25th of the month. So you're at that rank, you're rock solid in that rank with your 3 legs or your 4 legs or your 5 legs. You're not needing all the smoke and mirrors to get there from here. And that's what I want, because I want your checks to be big. So good. I'm reading what you said. I'm just reading notes. Okay. So you want me to call some people? Does that help you? Seems like that's what you guys all live for anyway, is for me to get my brains beat out on a three-way call or something. Okay, so this guy just texted me and said, I watched you. I appreciate your kindness, and I'd love to talk to you someday. Do you want me to call him and just see what he has to say or not? That will be a first-time call, so it's going to be more of a coffee shop interview than anything else. He looks about 100, but if you want me to call him, I will. You want me to call him? Is that a guy? I just looked at him. He just popped up. Okay, I'm in my phone now, going to people, looking for recent calls. If it works. My phone really looks bad today from people. I just went all the way through today, and it is embarrassing how bad it is of how few people I've called on the phone
Okay, man.
about longevity.
Those the only ones that are going to be turned off of those lights.
Okay.
Other than that, you're good.
Somebody's unmuted. That didn't work so well. I'm going to try something else. I'm going to go to my old contact mapping app. So I'm going to call that Jordan Thomas right now. This is going to be funny because this guy's going to play ping pong with me, but I have already talked to him about monetizing himself so he can be a big minister and a famous author. He has run from me a little bit. I'm going to press the conversation a little bit, if that's okay with you guys, because it's time for him to realize that I care about him and I want him to be rich. So here we go. And I have a perfect common denominator with him, and we'll call that Bob Dubois too, the guy that cut down the tree. We'll cut Bob. That's, how dumb was that? I could have called them both. Okay, so we'll just follow him up because I was supposed to follow up today anyway. Okay, so let's go. Marianne Dominic's coming by to get paid, so get ready. Jordan Thomas. Okay, here we go. There's Jordan.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Okay, I'm going to text him real quick to call me right now. And if he's available, he will, because he's going to wonder why in the world. Okay, good. Now we'll call this Bob Dubois guy. And do the same thing. But can you feel no fear? I hope you can feel no fear.
Hello, you reached Bob Dubois. I'm currently busy, but I'm looking forward to talking to you. Leave me your name and number, and I'll call you back as soon as possible. Have a great day. God bless you.
At the tone, please record your message. When you finish recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options. To leave a callback number, press 5.
Hey, Bob, Tom Chenault calling about GoPro, wondering if you're going to that. Wonder if I'm going to see you there. Give me a call back as soon as you can, man. Thanks. Okay, so neither one of those count as a coffee shop interview. So you guys are clear about that, right? So that's not something you get to, you don't put that on your list. But I can go through people like this all day long. Hang on, let me see who else is in this queue that I might be able to find for you. If anybody ever wants me to call people for them, I'd be happy to do it. That just becomes a three-way call, and that's what I do. I need the interview to do that for you. But activity, activity, activity. And the best way to get your team into activity is for you to be in activity. So now we're going to call. So Mary Ann and I are having breakfast the other day at Two Dog Diner, and this woman walks up and she's the one that you saw on Facebooks that day who kind of assaulted me at Lucky's Market. So she goes, so then I took a picture of her. I asked her a couple of questions about what she was doing. She told me what she was doing. We're at Two Dog Diner. Next thing I know, she walks up, hugs me again. I'm with Mary Ann and Denise and a few other people. At the end of the day, she ends up having breakfast with us and spending literally the whole day. And it turns out that she is in a company, but she hasn't been building for a very long time because she works 70 hours a week at a personal development company. She used to be a busker. Do you guys know what a busker is? Anybody know what a busker is? Not if you know what a busker is. Not if you don't. Okay, so shake your head if you don't, not if you don't. Okay, so what a busker is, and I'm sure that our wonderful fact checkers are Googling busker right now for a definition, but that's somebody that's on the mall, Caroline, their hands are in the air, somebody that's at the mall playing music. So we've got a guy down in New Zealand named Manfred, who is a busker. He was a concert pianist, and he became a busker until he got into a company called Life Force. And Manfred, are you on here? Is Manfred on here? Okay. So I want you to meet the cutest man you have ever met in your life. This cute man is Rick Manelius, and he has to come over here and he has to get on the screen again. And he is so adorable. This is Rick. Look at him. Okay.
I'm too tall to be adorable.
First turn around. Okay, so he's going back to junior high tonight, and he's got
my lunch pail.
He's got his lunch.
Yep.
And he's going home.
I'm gonna wear my braces.
So, so he's about, how tall are you?
6'5".
6'5". And he was track and field in college, and a very good athlete. Get going. There's his feet. Yeah, he hurt himself. And he's a wonderful guy, and he's got some credentials. So you looked at him and you said, who is Rick Manelius? Why would Tom be introducing me? Well, he's really Dr. Rick Manelius. And the reason, Peggy Gleason, he's Dr. Rick Manelius is because he's got his doctorate. And he got his undergraduate, which is even tougher to get into at the same school. He is Adrian's partner, and that jacket that you saw said MIT on it. Rick is a PhD from MIT in computer science, and about 40 words on the other side of it that we don't even really understand. And he was working at a gigantic company and doing all kinds of hotshot stuff. He heard about contact mapping, joined Adrian because it's so important, because it's going to connect and change the world. He walked away from a job. Adrian will tell you this. Yesterday, we're sitting with Rick. He goes, Google offered me a job yesterday, $100,000 above what I've ever made in my life. He's 36 years old. And Adrian and I just about had a heart attack. And he goes, I wouldn't work for them or anybody else for all the money in the world. We're doing important things here. Is that cool about contact mapping? Google that one, Caroline. So anyway, going back to the busker story. So I keep interviewing her. So then Denise remembers that she met Mary at on Pearl Street many years ago when Mary and her husband were playing music on Pearl Street Mall. Mary was in Life Force and she knows Manfred. How small is this world if you'll just sit down and ask questions?
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
I'm taking this personally. 3 calls in a row they don't answer.
9772 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Mary, it's Tom Chenault. Number 1, if you didn't take your vitamins that we gave you yesterday, I'm coming to your house. Number 2, left messages from Michael, Jude, and Manfred, and I'm going to find out if they remember you like you remembered them. Number 3, Denise remembers you from the Pearl Street Mall. It finally came to her. She remembers you and your husband. It's the cutest thing I ever heard in my life. So you, young lady, are at the top of our list. Please call me on the phone. I'm going to take it personally if you don't. Just met her. Marianne, am I lying? Unmute yourself. Is that how?
No, you're not like, yeah. And I thought it was real interesting because she was really interviewing you.
She was interviewing me 50 times more.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was getting on my nerves.
Yeah.
You don't be doing that.
Adrian doesn't like the reverse thing going on.
Yeah, Adrian's, and you know, that's what introverts do. Introverts you interview because we don't want to talk about ourselves. I swear to you, as I know this is the hardest thing in the world for any of you to believe. I am an introvert and I cannot stand talking about myself. It's crazy. You're never going to believe that. Okay, let me see what else has got going on here.
So can I talk for a minute?
What's your name?
My name's Adrian Chenault.
Okay, go ahead.
So we had a reporter come by the office today to talk about contact mapping. And she showed up 10 minutes early, and I called her at 8:55 and said, "Hey, I'm really sorry, but can you be here at 10:30 or 9:30?" And she showed up at 9:20, which was hilarious.
So she shows up. Adrian, can I interrupt you for 1 second?
Oh my God. What?
Ashley Trujillo, you have a midget on your shoulder.
Okay, that's a worthwhile interruption.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, it's so cute watching the kid work with his mother because Rock just commented about how great it is, the relationship you and I have. And I wanted to acknowledge Ashley for taking her child to work with her every day because that's how you get relationships like that. So I wanted to interject that while it was in my head and it was on the screen because it's important, Adrian. Now go back to your interview.
I forgot what I was going to say. Just kidding, I did not. So she shows up 10 minutes early, which was hilarious. And we are sitting there talking to her, and she's the reporter, and she's doing an interview and wants to do a story on contact mapping. And she shows up, and I start just peppering this girl with questions. And but in 10 minutes, because we were supposed to be there at 9:30, so Dad walks in the door at 9:30. And in those 10 minutes, I knew more about this girl than she could possibly believe. And it was the cutest moment because she just stopped and she goes, is it okay if I interview you guys now? Because she could not figure out how to get off the hook other than just to state, I thought I was here to interview you. Can we please stop talking about me now? So that was great. So we switch gears, we tell the whole contact mapping story, do the whole thing. And at the end of it, we demoed the app to her and I played back to her everything I remembered about her from those 10 minutes in that conversation and talk about what her face looked like when I did that.
It was just her jaw dropped for 2 reasons. She's a reporter. She could not believe Adrian completely verbatimed her life back to her. Autistic kids, everything going on with her life, her husband, everything about her, where she grew up. Adrian knew her blood type, but what was so odd and where she swallowed her cigar was we had Adrian's contact mapping app up on the big screen, and it was dictating verbatim what he was saying. and she could not believe that the voice recognition was that good. So both components of that were off the chain. And when she came, yeah, it was an incredible interview. And when she came in the door, she clearly was there with her heart, not her brain. She clearly was there as a tech, not tech person, a human being or writer writing about tech. So we took that interview completely there. And she said, at the end, she goes, I don't know how I'm going to write this. I said, write it like we spoke it, write it with love. And she literally almost started crying because this app and what you guys are doing, you think it's about longevity. You think it's about the hemp. You think it's about the minerals. You think it's about all that jazz. You're selling hope. You're selling love. You're selling family. And you know what? It's 10 times more serious than the product. It's a bigger responsibility. You people are literally putting your lives in my hands. I know that for a fact. I take that like seriously, like you can't believe it seriously. You are my family. You are my children. You are my tribe. And we, every day, and you see the books that we haul in on Facebook. We put the pictures up all the time of peeling books through books that we're reading. Why do we do that? Because we got to stay one step ahead of Joan Stableford. We do, for sure. Because I want Joan Stableford to get up in the morning going, man alive, I love that Tom Chenault. I'm going to get on the Hair on Fire call. That Sheena this morning, I don't know if you saw that post by that Sheena. And maybe I can find it. Maybe I can't. And she posted something that was real cute too. I want to show it to you. Because she is Mrs. Washington, D.C., a very, very accomplished woman in her own right. And she's at her office in corporate America in Washington, D.C. as Mrs. Washington, D.C. right there. And she writes, when you go in your corporate meetings every morning, do your colleagues give one another shout outs and tell one another that they love and appreciates them? If not, maybe you should roll with us. Because that doesn't happen at the hospital with Peggy. That doesn't happen anywhere. Doesn't even happen at our office with Marianne. It's unbelievable. So the point I make to you, this is different and better. And you got to love your teams like that and play it big like that. So who else has a question? Who else has anything? Let me see if any of these people called me back. I cannot believe I am taking this so personally. No, none of them called me. Okay, so when no one calls you back, what is the best thing that you can do? You're great. I love you, Joan. Don't you worry about a thing. Thanks for the note. What do you do when somebody doesn't call you back? You call them again. We're calling them all one more time. We do not let this happen. Okay, he must really be busy. But I'm going to put a hook in these guys. And what are they going to believe when they see I called twice? It must be important. What are you doing, Mary? How come you ducked me the first time?
I didn't have you I just added you as a contact. I didn't know it was you. I'm at Whole Foods and I just listened to start with you.
Oh, you're at Whole Foods?
Yes.
Okay, well, you don't need to go to Whole Foods anymore. You're getting all your vitamins and minerals out of those out of that stuff I sold you.
That's right.
No.
I just started taking them last night. I talked to your son, James.
James, yeah. James is a rock star. He knows the products inside and out. He is an invaluable resource that sits at the office every morning to answer your questions.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I put messages into Manfred and also into Michael Jude to tell them that we've reconnected. So they'll be calling to say hi. And Krista Way. And last but not least, Denise remembers you from Pearl Street Mall, believe it or not.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
Wow, that's amazing.
So, yeah, I think we were made to be attached at the hip. So you get over here and visit. I'm going to New York tomorrow, but you get over here and visit us, okay?
I will, and we have to get together and play my card game.
Well, I'm ready when you are. I can't wait. I'm very, very excited.
Did you by chance ever hear from Go Pro if they're able to convert that to a live stream ticket?
No, I bought one today because of you. That's a great point. I forgot to tell you that. I bought a GoPro Stream, and we're going to air it in my office all day, every day. So you can come right down here and sit down and watch it.
Oh, you are down there. Oh, no worries. I'll get one from I'm so busy with work. It'd be hard for me to just stay away from.
Why? All you need is a computer and a phone.
I know, but I got to tilt my kids to work. I got the dogs out.
Oh man, alive. All right, I'm gonna.
And I mail some stuff from home too, but that's okay. I can watch it from home.
All right,
yeah,
baby.
I'll get it. I was gonna get a ticket anyway.
I'll go see if I can figure something. I'll see if I can get you a discount.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's okay. What are you guys supposed to New York supposed to work though?
Yeah, we're doing big meetings in New York till Monday. We'll be back Monday, so we'll sit down.
Oh, cool. Well, have a nice time.
I am committed to get you out of this trap, no matter what.
Yeah, I just, I got a letter from the IRS today, and I was hoping it was the offer saying, we accepted your offer, and it was a letter saying, we're so busy, it might be another 90 days.
Don't worry about it. I've got all kinds of ideas for you. We're going to figure it out. So you keep on churning, kid. You're going to be fine.
I know. It'll be fine. I'm not worried about it.
I love you, man. You be good.
Yeah. Take care. Have a great time in New York.
Do it. Bye-bye. Okay, that's as far as I could take that. But the name of the game is, having people know you're caring about them. That's all you're doing all day long, is letting people know. She's going to realize that we love her 10 times more than her company loves her. She's going to realize that, and she's going to realize that there's no place to be than home in longevity. That's what's going to happen, or it isn't. If it doesn't happen, what happened? We still made her life better. She didn't join us because she's happy there. But if she did, it's just, I refuse to believe that's the outcome, because I believe everybody's supposed to be with us. That's what I believe from my core. I believe we're that good. So who's got questions? Who's got answers? Love, yeah, good. Joan Stableford, I love her. Let's see, what else? Anybody else got a question? Anybody else got anything I can help you with? Tamara, Sharon, Stanley, James, Jen, Pharmacist Keith, Robin, Tanner, I love her. Lanny, you're beautiful. Bobby Knight. Oh, that is so funny. So today, I have to tell you this story. Bobby Knight was a famous basketball coach at Indiana University. Today, I get done with, this is hilarious. It's not so funny when somebody has to tell you twice it's hilarious. So this is truly hilarious. So I'm talking to this lady. I told you I had three-way calls to do today. So this woman in Chicago used to play basketball at Texas Tech University, and her coach was Bobby Knight, the basketball coach. And she goes, how old are you? Are you 100 or something, Tom? And I start laughing. I go, I'm 67. She goes, man, it's been so long since I've seen energy like this. And I go, well, who was it? Well, your dad? She goes, no, it was Bobby Knight. He's the last guy I saw with that kind of swagger. So I have no idea whether that was a compliment or an insult, but I'm taking it as a compliment. I have to choose that as a compliment, don't I? But yeah, the true story. So this lady played basketball for Bobby Knight at Texas Tech. And apparently I didn't even realize it until I just thinking about it just now. He went, and after he got kicked out of Indiana University, the men's team, he went and coached the women at Texas Tech, and she was one of them. Is that cool enough? Bingo, bango, bongo. But everything's in the coffee shop interview. So now, what goes into her map? Played basketball under Bobby Knight. 5 years from now, anybody know anybody that knows Bobby Knight? Yeah, I do. Can you get to him? Yeah, call this woman. Get all the dots connect. Just map people. Remember who they are. Put them in the database so you can search it and get ready for the miracles to happen. That's all it is. What time is it? So those of you, that's 5:30. I have to go. Here's why. So tonight when you're watching TV, the Los Angeles Lakers are playing the Denver Nuggets. And LeBron James and those kids, somebody give me the name of the kids that are so obnoxious, who have the horrible dad that's so obnoxious. At the end of the day, the father, you're welcome, Bobby. At the end of the day, I am sitting right behind the Nuggets bench in the first row. So I'll be on TV all night long. So I'm going to be just terribly obnoxious because I know I'm going to be on TV and it's going to be so fun. So that's what's happening. Yeah, the Ball brothers. Yeah, so that's going to be so exciting watching that whole game and deal with it. So we love on people and I do the Wallach. Are you guys sending? Yeah. Are you guys all sending out that Wallach movie like it's going out of style? I got to do more of that. Can you do it out of the app yet, out of the Longevity Go-To app? You can actually do it out of there. Get down here, Marianne, before I go, so you can show me how, and I'll have Denise drive to the basketball game, and I'll send out personally. Oh, my God, before you go. Jordan Adler showed me a very cool deal on Facebook groups that Adrian understands, and we're going to teach you guys. So next week, make sure you're on here because we'll have it for you by then. And we're going to teach this system of how to take. We'll put Dr. Wallach in the corner. So if I come to Peggy Gleason's having a meeting next week. So I'm not going to use Peggy Gleason for an example. I'm going to use somebody that's not on here. Somebody that's on, Lance Gordon decides to have a meeting. So he tells me to come up to Milwaukee and come next Saturday. And so I say, okay, I'll be there next Saturday. He finally remembers on Friday night that I'm coming. So he invites everybody that he can, and everybody tells him no. So then he says, okay, he calls his mom, he calls his dad, he calls his dog, he calls his cat, and he goes, you need to come to this meeting Tom Chenault's at, and you need to play like you're interested. So here I walk into the meeting, and there's 400 dead people because nobody knew I was coming, and that's what always happens when I fly around the country, because that's what happens when I fly around the country. Wouldn't it be great if we could pull all those people with a really cool way to pull them into a Facebook room, to have Lance and I, as an example, talking to them, or Dr. Wallach and I talking to them, trap them in the room where they're hearing the presentation, and then you're able to keep them alive with different things in the room all the way. Jordan Adler, who's a guy in Send Out Cards, who has no product, it's a tough, tough deal. His business is up like 30% using these rooms. And he's going to teach me how to do it so I can teach you guys next week. So, and then guess what's going to happen if you're good? Jordan Adler is going to come on this show and teach you. And if you guys haven't read, Marianne's Mouth was just great. Do you have a picture of Jordan Adler on your wall? I think she does. Makes me sick. Is that Jordan? That is sickening. Is there a picture of me in your office? No. Jordan Adler. So that's got to tell you something. So I love you guys with all my heart. So I'm going to have that for you by next week, Linda McCormick. So get ready. It will be over. We are winning. We are winning. We are taking no prisoners. Oh, 2 weeks. I'll be in Las Vegas. Sorry about that. I have some time to learn. So it's going to be exciting. Here we go. Thank you for everything, you guys. I love you, Peggy. I'm going to do you right with Hanny Sai. Invite people in North Carolina. Invite people in wherever you are. Marianne, I love you. See ya.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye, Vincent.
Have a blessed night.
Bye, Tamara. I love you guys.
Love you too.
Bye, Vince. I'll see you again. All right, you guys. Take care.
Don't forget to thank Adrian.
I did, and he got you all fixed up, Vincent. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.